It was 3 a.m. and I was on the edge of a rooftop. I couldn't stop looking at the stars and feeling as though their scattered chaos was mirroring the state of my life at that time. They seemed too vast and disorganized to process, and I felt like my life was equally fragmented as I was trying to figure out what to do next. As I sat there looking out into the night sky and drawing random shapes into the stars, something incredible happened. A constellation emerged. Suddenly, what had seemed like chaotic had patterns that made sense. The starry night had gone from chaos to complexity. It had meaning. That fear-inducing vastness transformed into a spark for curiosity, and all I had to do was draw the lines and look at the sky long enough for constellations to emerge. That night, looking up at the sky, I learned three lessons of how to sail the seas of uncertainty and find my way home. The first lesson is how to move from chaos to complexity. That day, I experienced what I call the C switch. Here's what it looks like. So when the C switch is off, I think to myself, my life is a mess. Too much is happening too fast, all at the same time. And I don't even remember when was the last time I showered or the last time I was excited to get out of bed in the morning. And when the C switch is on, I tell myself, all right, here's exactly what I don't know. I don't know what I want. I don't know what to do next. I don't know where to start. I don't know what's coming. I don't know if I can handle it. And I don't know if anything is going to work out. But here's specifically what I do know. I do know that I feel helpless. I know that I feel lost. I know that my life looks like a mess. Too much is happening, too fast, all at the same time. And I know I feel overwhelmed. But I also know that I'm not in denial. The C switch is when you go from seeing everything from the lens of chaos to seeing it from the lens of complexity. Instead of saying this is chaotic, you look at it pragmatically as this is complex. Looking through the lens of complexity means seeing the stars as dots to be connected instead of this scattered mass. The C switch is when you start seeing your life as a complex network of events and emotions that you have yet to explore, engage with, organize, and reorganize to let those patterns emerge so that you could put them into a story that helps you make sense of your life and move forward. When I learned to see uncertainty that I was facing as complexity, I then had to come face to face with fear. The second lesson I learned was how to counter fear with curiosity. Curiosity and fear evolve together. They are symbiotic. Without curiosity, fear becomes tyrannical. Without curiosity, fear disables our capacity to explore. And so I had to have a conversation with fear. I sat down with fear and I spoke openly and honestly. And it told me what I didn't want to hear. It said, Fatima-Zahra, you police your passion for life because you think the best way to protect yourself from getting hurt is to remain indifferent to life. Fear is a protector. When we explore the edges of what we know, fear is there for us. It hits the brake when we could get hurt. It is supposed to be working together as a team with curiosity. However, we exiled curiosity and gave free rein to fear. We forced fear to define what is a threat without the wisdom of curiosity. How can we differentiate between fear and curiosity? So when the mind is not able to give us answers, we turn to our body. Fear and curiosity, despite their symbiosis, they feel different. Fear is a contraction, while curiosity is an expansion. Fear makes you withdraw from novelty, while curiosity makes you seek it and explore it. Curiosity helps you gain clarity and become more receptive. It allows you to get to know things as they are, not as you want them to be. You let go of that urge to control and instead be in that state of openness to explore, discover, and rediscover your inner and outer worlds. Curiosity, once reinstated in its rightful role, works hand in hand with fear to allow the space for growth. Curiosity taught me how to explore my life, telling and retelling stories until I connect the dots between its complex pieces. What I considered to be overthinking as I told myself and those around me the story of what I was going through was actually a process of constructing meaning. The third lesson I learned was how to use the process of telling and retelling my story to bring clarity to the complexity that I was experiencing. So an experience equals an event plus a story. And the story is the explanation we give to the event. Connecting the events through the stories is how we create meaning. Just like the constellations bring clarity to the chaos of the stars, we human beings, we use stories to bring clarity to the complexity of our existence. Stories allow us to capture that richness and variety of meaning in human life and communicate who we are, what we do, how we feel, and why we choose to follow a certain course of action. We externalize our stories to allow for feedback to help us make sense of our experiences. There are two ways to externalize our thoughts. The first one is through conversations. Conversations where we open up to other people about our own experiences. The second is through writing or any other form of creative self-expression. And both ways involve feedback, which could be either direct or indirect. Direct feedback is a reaction or a response to what you just shared, whether you're having a conversation with a friend or reading your own journal entries. You are allowing yourself to receive a different perspective or explanation to your life event. Indirect feedback, on the other hand, is when you search for different perspectives in other people's stories. So you turn to your family and friends or authors and filmmakers to step outside of your own story and find a different explanation. Telling and retelling your story is a cyclical process that allows you to reinvent your personal narrative and move forward in a way that is helpful to you. If the explanation that you've given to an event continues to cause conflict with other people or disharmony within yourself, then it is not yet useful, because a meaningful story is one that is clear and functional. To me, uncertainty is a gift. It is a fixed and constant part of our reality, and navigating it is an ongoing process. Today's talk is me telling my own story of navigating uncertainty. It is an attempt at bringing clarity to my own world and meaning to my own experiences. The three lessons helped me then, and they continue to offer me guidance today. Constructing meaning is about experiencing a shift from fearing the chaos to welcoming complexity with curiosity. It's about understanding that life is a constellation of stories interconnected and interweaved, and that all we have to do is contemplate it long enough for the patterns to emerge, for us to connect the dots and tell the tale of this ongoing conversation between the world within us and the one around us. So whenever you face uncertainty, I want you to remember this. You are a collection of stars, just not in constellations yet. Thank you.